been a long time since I was cheered in a New York subway station. Part of the job of being MTA chair. Listen, thank you everybody for joining us. I am Jano Lieber, MTA chair and CEO, and I'm here with the president of New York City Transit, Rich Davey. Hold your applause till the end. Hold your applause till the end. Chief Customers Officer, Shanifa Riera. Jamie Torres-Springer, who's the president of Construction Development, which does this kind of work and so much else. We're also joined by folks representing, it's not a secret, the legislature's in session, but we have representatives. Sadi Mendoza Torres, representing Senator Gustavo Rivera. Thank you for being here. And Neil Jimenez from State Assembly member Udelka Tapia. Thank you for being here, Neil. We've also got a lot of folks from the NYPD and the MTA PD, in addition to an amazing group of folks who worked on this project. And I just want a special shout out to the NYPD and the MTA PD for what they're doing, successfully pushing back on subway crime. So big hand for them, please. Everybody knows that the one thing that makes people feel safe and be safe is the folks in uniform, so we really, really appreciate it. Listen, this is a great day for the Bronx. The B and the D Tremont Avenue station is now fully accessible. 2 brand new elevators, new staircase, 3 brand new elevators, a new staircase, a slate of other upgrades for the more than 4,000 riders who use this station every day. This is the 5th MTA station to become accessible this year. It's the 149th in our whole system overall. And I got to tell you, a huge majority of Bronxites, 89%, use mass transit to get where they're going, to school, to work, to medical appointments. These are the people that we ought to be talking about rather than the George Washington Bridge drivers who seem to be getting so much attention to this day. From the standpoint of the Bronx, those drivers are, in many cases, contributing to a long history of environmental injustice. We want to focus on the mass transit riders. That is why we are moving 100 miles an hour on these accessibility projects. We're going 5 times faster than any prior MTA administration. By now, everybody's heard about the 67 total stations that are being done as part of the 2020 to 2024 MTA capital program. It's a $5 billion, that's a billion with a B, investment in accessibility. Jamie and the team at MTA C&D, many of whom are behind us, have more than 20 accessibility projects in construction under development right now. And it's not just on the subways. This year, we've already cut the ribbon on new elevators at 3 Metro North stations. And we got 3 more Metro North railroad stations under development in the Bronx right now as part of the current capital program. But newsflash, all of this great and important work is at risk because of the lawsuits trying to stop congestion pricing. Jamie talked about it at our MTA board meeting yesterday. The $15 billion that are going to be we're going to receive from congestion pricing revenues make up 50%, fully half of the remaining MTA capital program funds. That means that the capital program is actually now being delayed, largely placed on hold, including those 20+ stations I just talked about, and much of it may not happen. May not happen. This is serious. It's a major setback to our efforts to make the transit system more accessible and equitable for millions of New Yorkers. The threats are real. We cannot let these lawsuits from folks who, for whatever reason, don't care about the 90% of New Yorkers who rely on transit to live their lives. We can't let these lawsuits get in the way of transit justice. Under Governor Hochul, we're going to keep fighting to make sure that we make good on the promise of a fully accessible system. That is our passion, and that is our commitment. So with that, let me turn it over to Rich, Shanifa, and Jamie to talk a little more about this great project. Rich?
Thank you, Jano. And I'll just be brief. I want a couple things. First of all, Jano deserves a ton of credit for prioritizing accessibility It has been talked about for decades. You know, I've seen it in other cities. It's been a fight. It shouldn't be a fight. He prioritized it, so he deserves a ton of credit. Jano, thank you for continuing to prioritize our customers who need these facilities. To Jamie and the team at C&D and all the workers behind us, we often work closely together. Sometimes, you know, we disagree on things, but a little bit. But you know, we are very appreciative of New York City Transit for the delivery, the project delivery that the C&D team does on our customers' behalf every day. This is a tremendous project, and we appreciate all the hard hats behind us in your work as well. Shanifa will talk about how important this is to our customers, but I want to double down on what Jano said about congestion pricing. Okay, we've rolled out open gangway. We're rolling out new cars on the A line. I think the 10th R211 went into service yesterday. We're renovating stations. We're putting in accessibility. If you like this stuff, then you have to like congestion pricing, because that is how these projects are going to be funded in the future. And I know congressmen from leafy suburbs and other states don't like to hear that, but this is critically important for the 5.5 million New Yorkers in New York City Transit we move every day. Not only is it about air quality and congestion in neighborhoods like the one I live in, I've talked to residents there who've lived there for decades who are desperate to see less congestion in that neighborhood, but it's all about investing in transit. So we're going to continue to make the fight for congestion pricing to make projects like this a reality. With that said, I'll turn it over to our Chief Customer Service Officer, Shanifa Rivera.
Thank you so much, Rich. As Jano said, it is a great day to be in the Bronx, is it not?
Yeah.
It is a great day to be in my home borough in the Bronx. And one thing that Jano always talks about but did not really lean in on too much today, that public transportation is equity. And, you know, in Tremont, in a community that is oftentimes overlooked and underserved, it is amazing. And I am thankful to be part of an amazing team to bring such resources to this neighborhood. I have used this station for decades, and it is awesome that an elevator is here, that this station is well lit. The tiles are beautiful. Thank you, Rich, for the renovation and other attempts to make the experience amazing for our riders. Jamie, keep on building those elevators, but as Rich and Jano mentioned, this will not be possible if we all don't stand and rally in support of congestion pricing. None of this can continue to happen without supporting congestion pricing, and I cannot be more clear than that. So again, thank you for the C&D team and all the hard workers that are behind us for making this possible for Bronxites today and beyond.
Thank you. Thank you, Shanifa. It's great to work with this team and under this leadership at the MTA. A lot of this has been said, so let's just talk about what we did here. This is an extraordinary, important station on the BD line. This was not an easy project to get done, as we operate so much service here and keep it running all the time. And we have to understand that this project goes well beyond the 3 shiny new elevators that we installed here. We regraded the platform to create a new ADA boarding area with the new tactile strips. We replaced handrails and stair treads to bring them up to ADA code for customer safety. There's a brand new fire alarm system and a brand new sprinkler system, and we replaced all of the in-station CCTV cameras. I think it's 34 cameras in total that we replaced in this station, which is key in addition to the uniformed police presence to addressing those public safety concerns. So very happy that we've upgraded the CCTV cameras. Local residents know and love this station's mural, Uptown New York, that's behind us, spanning the entire mezzanine wall at the south entrance. Our C&D project team went above and beyond to preserve it, even while we demolished the entire wall and rebuilt 2 stairways underneath it. So not to be daunted, MTA Arts and Design hired the original artist, Frank Leslie Hampton, a Bronx native, and the original fabricator to replicate it exactly. And at last today, the new mural is on view again behind us. So we're really pleased with how the work went and concluded at this station. I want to just quickly acknowledge those within the MTA and our contractors who worked to get this over the finish line. James Bowles, our project CEO, our station's business unit lead, Bill Montanili, project director, Jamin Shah, Sam Afifi and Errol, who jumped in at the last minute to help us get this over the finish line in the new system that we've developed to get that done. Lots of other MTA staff. I also want to thank rich New York City Transit staff, including E&E, who are well represented here, elevators and escalators, who are working so closely with us to get these projects done, our design builder, Tully Construction, STV, and our project management consultant from Sistra, who's done a great job here. Thank you very much, everyone, and with that, I'll hand it back to Jano.
A lot of thank yous, a lot of acknowledgments, but I just want to finish by thanking two groups. One is the men and women behind us who, whether they designed it, supervised the project, built it, or in the case of a lot of MTA workers, were central to making sure we can get this stuff going because they have to inspect and make sure it's all operational. I got to thank all of them. This is what it looks like when you got a high-functioning construction and development operation. We're going 100 miles an hour, and it's because of them. Big shout out to all of you. And last but not least, at every time we open a station, folks from the accessibility and the disability advocacy community show up. And they show up because they're passionate about this, because they're in many ways the conscience of the MTA and of all New Yorkers. And I just want to tip a big shout out to the advocacy powerhouses who are represented here. Thank you for what you do. So with that, we conclude the program, and happy to take questions from the very limited press corps represented here today.
All right, we've got a question today over there. It's Connor Buckley from News 12 The Bronx. Connor.
Mr. Chairman, I wanted to get your reaction to a rally at City Hall this morning by small business anti-congestion pricing advocates.
Okay. Not always understood, but the business community has been a strong supporter of congestion pricing for many years. I just went this morning to a breakfast where Kathy Wild, the head of the New York City Partnership and the chair of that major business organization, spoke, and they reiterated the business community is completely in support of congestion pricing. Why? Because the economy is being crushed by all of the time being wasted, people stuck in congestion. They want faster transit for their workforce to get around, and they want less congestion so the people who do have to drive don't spend years sitting in traffic. The business community loves congestion pricing.
All right, other questions? Anybody? Anybody? Great. Thank you, everybody.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
Everybody.
For those watching the live stream, we've got some B-roll of the new elevator and the upgrades at the Tremont station. B-roll to follow. Thank you.
Take care of the stations. Yeah, exactly.
Check 1, 2, 1. Ooh, that's check. Fantastic. You sound great. I don't sound great.
Perfecto, usted no lo sabe. Happy. Anyway, I take.
Let's just try to keep it clean now. We're gonna go to the fix it up. This is good, man. My hip and everything, man. This is good. You know, throughout the day, I go back and forth, back and forth. Beautiful. Wow. Perfect. Ah, yes.
Take care of the stations. Yeah, exactly.
Sounds like Trump's been sounding. Check 1, 2, 1. Ooh, that's hard. Check. Testing. You sound great. I don't sound great.
Perfecto, usted no lo sabe. Happy. Anyway, I take.
Let's just try to keep it clean now. We're gonna go to the fix it up.